I'm Steve Mann, and this is Paper Classroom. Welcome to our Water and Chemical Additives introductory tutorial. In this introductory video, we're going to talk about the 4 learning outcomes, things you are expected to know by the end of this unit. And the 4 learning outcomes are sources of water. Where do we get water from? There's groundwater, there's surface water, there's drinking water, and there's processed water. Then we need to know about water treatment. How do we treat incoming raw water? How do we treat our effluent? And what do we do with our processed water? Can we treat that within the process? We also need to know about process aids. Process aids are there to aid the process. Nothing to do with the customer. The customer doesn't need to know about them. We put them in to make the process run more smoothly and to make it run more cheaply. And then we also need to know about functional aids. Now these things were put in because the customer has specified something specific. They may have said, I want a red piece of paper, so we need to put a dye in. Turns it red. They may want a water repellent piece of paper. We put a sizing agent in. They may want a paper that's strong when it gets wet, like a tea bag. So we put a wet strength agent in. So all these are functional aids. So let's have a look at some of these things. So water sources. There's such a thing as surface water, which is water that is on the surface. So we're talking of rivers, lakes, streams, reservoirs. In the mill, we've got processed water. Some of it we only use once, some of it we can recirculate, some of it we can, as it is, some of it we can clean up and put back. Sometimes you get water from wells and boreholes, so we're digging deep into the ground. So this is called groundwater. And then we'll also look at some of the problems that incoming raw water can cause, like hardness, for example. Then we need to know a little about water treatment. Essentially, water treatment could fall into 3 categories: flotation, filtration, and sedimentation. When water first comes into the mill pond, it'll undergo a little bit of sedimentation before it passes on to specialised equipment. We might use equipment like this for treating either incoming raw water or even effluent to settle them, to settle out all the solids and give us nice clear water going into our process. We might choose to filter the water through a sand filter. Or we might have some specialist sedimentation devices. For process aids, we have a few things we could talk about. So this here is a retention aid. Retention aids are there to retain fibre and filler in the sheet, so it doesn't pass through the sheet, through the wire, and go out to the effluent plant. We need biocides to kill off all the bugs, to stop the smells and the foam and the gases. And we have antifoams and defoamers. And finally, we need to talk about functional aids, things we put in for the benefit of the customer. We might use a chalk or clay, or in this case titanium dioxide, to improve the opacity of the sheet. We might need to have a dye, and there are different types of dye. This here is a basic dye. There's also direct dyes and acid dyes. So why are they all different? How do we choose which one to use? Or the customer may want a water repellent piece of paper, so we need to add a sizing agent. Sizing agents often react with the hydroxyl groups on the fibre, but what happens if they react with the hydroxyl groups in the water? And finally, we might just need simple, straightforward wet strength. Why does a tea bag not fall apart when you pour boiling water over it? Because it's got some wet strength material in. Well, that's all I want to talk about in this introductory video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you look forward to learning more about water and chemical additives in the other videos in this series. And I look forward to seeing you later. Bye for now.